Hey, welcome back to our time-sticking YouTube channel. I'm Jake, and today I'm going to be showcasing a watch that has a bit of a unique history to it. So stick with us through our intro, and we're going to have a look at this World War II wristwatch. Now, you might not be able to take a sip from one of these watches, considering they're pretty water resistant, but Canteen style watches do draw from a well of history that's brimming. Well below the surface of the sea, Navy divers during World War II required tough timepieces to weather demolition missions, as well as other deep water endeavors. Up until the Second Great War, wristwatches had been so new to horology that their toughened performance qualities had not been fully realized in the way they are today. There were two exceptions to this at the time regarding water resistance, brands Panerai and Radiomir. These two watches are a bit of an aside, so we will not be covering them in this video. Despite these two exceptions, the US government needed watches that could hold up to submersion and be manufactured in mass, which is something that was hard for the other two brands to keep up with. So when the government put out a contract, the first water-ready Canteen watches started pouring in from other brands. The three brands that ended up taking on the military contract were Elgin, Bulova, and Hamilton during World War II. Already standing as prominent watchmakers before the 1940s, each had the resources to supply soldiers with crucial ordnance. Predating rotating bezels and underwater chronographs, the Canteen watches issued were basic timepieces and looked similar to infantry watches built for the US Army. However, and it's a big however, the large hatch on the watches set them apart in terms of design. Hatch in tow, naval soldiers could carry out orders with uninterrupted underwater timekeeping. With the new technology of scuba, or self-contained underwater breathing apparatus, making its way into the fray, it almost goes without saying that tracking time was crucial in keeping military men from being down for too long. Unfortunately, the evolution of scuba began pushing Canteen watches out of the running as military watches, due to the fact that Canteen watches couldn't go further down than about 49 feet at a time. We will be touching on the replacement of Canteen watches in just a moment. Further specifics being accounted for, the World War II Canteen watches were built for one particular segment of the US Navy. Their specific patron or designation was the US Navy Bureau of Ships. When observed, older Canteen watches will not have Canteen inscribed anywhere on their case or dial. They will instead read USN Buships, alongside the brand that built them. Because of this designation, older Canteen watches from World War II can be referred to as Buship or Canteen interchangeably. Once World War II was over, the watch world continued to move on. Limited commercial production on Canteen watches fizzled out due to new innovations in water resistance. As scuba tech was becoming more widespread, deeper diving watches were being crafted by watchmakers around the globe. By 1961, the US military needed special forces watches that were non-magnetic and could dive down to 400 feet. They called this specification 22717A. Sounds pretty par for the course for the military. Watches that met this updated specification came from private industries. Instead of issuing new contracts, the government began buying them in bulk from innovative private sellers. Now, many World War II watches have survived abuse and war because of the specifications that they were built to, and the Canteen is definitely no exception. Though World War II water watches didn't debut any major updates or innovations to wristwatch design, they were at the forefront of new ideas in engineering. Essentially, they were built tougher than anything before them. Perhaps not surprisingly then, they often outrank newer timepieces in terms of longevity and durability. It would be fair to say that modern performance watches owe a lot of their standards to timepieces like the Canteen, as well as all of its military cousins. After all, if it can dive in the sea or take on the rigors of war and keep on ticking, the watch has got to be worth its salt. On a final note, Canteen watches can still be purchased today. Though they weren't commercially popular after World War II, their unique style was eventually contemporarily reproduced. So if you want a standout timepiece that's a good nod to history, keep your eyes peeled for Canteen watches. Just be sure to check the water resistance, because most nowadays are made for looks. Hello, and thanks for watching our YouTube video today. If you enjoyed it, please give it a like, and you can find similar videos right here. For more new and interesting content from time sticking on our channel, please subscribe at the link here. And for more information about wristwatch repair and watch maintenance generally, you can find us at timesticking.com. Thanks so much and have a great day.